I'm Bobby Cole, and I'm running for governor. I'm a cattleman from East Texas, and I'm a retired firefighting lieutenant for the city of Plano. I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I'm a grandfather. And the reason I'm running is because I've worked all my life to leave a legacy to my kids and my grandkids.
Listen, I know what it is to have to hustle to survive. This is my working class story. This means I understand your working class story. The details of our stories are different, but the spirit that we share lives in me and lives in you. And the working class and common ordinary Texans have been left behind. And my candidacy is about fighting for those people and fighting for the middle class. The Democratic Party needs to return to its working man and woman roots.
Sir.
What was once our past can once again be our future. Listen, the middle class is in danger. In the 1970s, 61% of us were middle class. Today, it's only 50%. What do you think happened? Do you think a lot of us got into that 1%? The working poor during that same time increased by 30%. You know what happened? We've been squeezed, and then some of us were squeezed all the way out. This is what my campaign's about, fighting for the working class. Billionaires and corporations have had their day for the last 40 years. It's time we level the playing field and unabashedly fight for the working class.
Yeah.
Listen, my struggles and the values my grandparents and my family put in me, they demonstrated how lived values and principles can put steel in your spine and grit in your gut. And this is what my campaign's about. My campaign's about trusting women and not trying to control them. It's about LGBTQ Texans being seen and not erased. It's about investing in our public schools and our kids and not shortchanging them. It's about immigrants being treated with dignity and decency and due process and not hunted. It's about building a Texas where the Texans who built the state can afford to live in the state. And if you get sick, you should be able to get well without going broke. It's about fair wages. This campaign's about fair wages. $7.25 is a joke. That's not funny. $15 an hour right away, adjusted to inflation. We need economic justice in the country and in Texas. Monopolies need to be broken up everywhere and anywhere. I will advocate for that because it will free up competition, which will help the consumer with prices. And when you bust up all these huge companies that are in every sector of the economy, when you bust them up, there will be a lot of small companies. When you create all those small companies, demand for workers will go up. At that point, workers can demand better wages. So break up the monopolies right away. I want to tell you two things. You've got to vote for somebody that you can trust. You've heard my story. You've heard my background. You've heard about the people who raised me. You know my values. You heard them in my campaign positions. This is why it's important. I'm a firefighter. I'm a public servant. I have courage. I have steel in my spine and grit in my gut. I've told you. And this is why it's important. You got to vote for somebody you trust. And I'm asking for your vote because you won't be in the Capitol. You won't be in those hallways. You won't be behind those doors when your hopes and your fears are on that table. and your priorities and needs to build your life are on that table. I will be, and they'll stay on that table. They won't be diced up and chopped up and sold to the highest bidder. And you know that's what has been going on.
Yeah.
Second of all, you got to vote for somebody that can beat Greg Abbott. I'm the candidate that can beat Greg Abbott, and I'm fixing to tell you why. You've heard my story, just like it's the same situation with trust. You know where I'm from. I'm from rural Texas. I was raised by working class, hardworking people with values. My message resonates in rural Texas and suburban Texas, the mid-city, and the small towns. Wendy Davis, Lupe Valdez, Beto O'Rourke, all ran, lost by 1 million votes. Beto, for example, he won 19 counties. You know where they're at. They're the blue splashes on those urban areas. Every Democrat that gets the nomination will win that same vote. But the other 235 counties, that sea of red, Abbott wins at a 70 to 30% clip. I'm the candidate that can go out there. I don't have to win them, but I'm telling you, I can strip percentage off him left and right. If I strip 10%, it's a dead heat. If I strip 11, 12, 13, I'm running away with it. I'm the only candidate that can go out there and do that. And so when you vote this primary, early voting, 17th through the 27th. The primary is on March 3rd. You need to vote for Bobby Cole if you want to beat Greg Abbott. And I'm here to tell you that. So, I'm Bobby Cole. I'm running for governor. My campaign is about fair wages and economic justice, having the back of working families, and fighting for the legacy we were all left by generations before us, our democracy. Go to my website to help, support, volunteer. I'm grassroots as they get. I'm grassy. I need help. Because I'm telling you, I'm the only one that can beat him. I am unbought. I don't owe anything to the parties. And I don't owe any billionaires. The only thing I owe is the respect to the hardworking people who actually built the damn state.
Yeah.
And that's who I'm fighting for. Thank you. I can give a small synopsis of what Trump has done to farmers.
Please.
Tariffs are real. They're a tax. He's even admitting it. Row crop farmers, soybean farmers. $13 billion a year we send to China. Half of what row crop farmers make, China was buying. For 10 months, we didn't sell $1 in soybeans to China. He's recently cut, I'm going to put words in his mouth, but they're playing up, a big, beautiful deal with China. They're going to buy 25 metric tons of soybeans. Problem is, the 5 years before, they were buying 30 metric tons of soybeans. It's a 15% reduction. So how did the farmers turn out? They went with 10 months with half their income, some with no income. And now they're what they suffered through and had to endure was to get a deal that's 15% less than the deal they had. Master deal maker, right there. Some of these guys have cattle. The only thing that was propping a lot of them up was higher cattle prices. Don't blame the farmer for the price of the meat in the meat cabinet. Farmers, whether it's crops or cattle or feed across the scale, doesn't matter what the price is, they make 10 to 15%. They're the lowest ones that are cut into that deal. Everybody in between, this is where I'm talking about, break up the monopolies. There are monopolies everywhere in agriculture. And when they fully get a hold of it, you think you're paying high prices for food. Wait until they fully have a hold of it. This is why we got to break them up. It's coming, I'm telling you. Yeah, Trump and Republicans have never been good for agriculture. And this is what I'm saying. The Democrats were truly the working man's party. They were the farmer's party.
Yep.
And we're not immune to the temptations of greed and money. I believe over the last 20, 30 years, Democrats have been beholden to the corporations and the billionaires just like Republicans. Republicans talk the talk that we would have working people's backs. They never meant it. And you can see it now, and the people they lied to can see it now. We're going to have one opportunity to get this right. They're going to come back home. And you better have the right politicians that really want to have their back and fight for what they need. Because if we can win them back, the Republican Party is dead and gone. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
It's in name only. The Democratic Party is alive right now. But if we don't get this right, we're on a slow train to the cemetery. We've got an opportunity to return to the glory days of the working man's party and the working woman's party and the human rights party and fighting for people's freedoms and their liberties and their rights. It's a righteous party. It's a righteous history. We can return to that. So there's my spiel.